Google did it. The Google Pixel 5a 5G is Google's version of a phone that has everything a person needs, and the proof is pretty obvious. What does a phone need? I mean, truly need? Well, it needs to make phone calls. Pretty obvious, and I'm happy to report that the Pixel 5a can do perfect phone calls. The speaker quality is great, sound is great, no dropped calls, service is great, everything's great. So what's another thing that a phone needs? Cameras. Now, okay, sure, maybe you don't need cameras, but with the world going more and more into the digital age, it's certainly a nice bonus to have if your phone has a good camera system. Cameras let people relive their past, looking back onto multiple years of memories. It's important that those memories are as good as they can be, and this phone does not lack on that either. See, the actual camera hardware of the Pixel 5a 5G isn't anything too impressive. In fact, the main camera is the same camera that the Pixel 2 used. But the thing that makes smartphone cameras very impressive is the actual software. And Google knows what they're doing when it comes to software. Software plays a huge deciding factor on if the photo that you took is going to look good or bad. The 5a takes incredible photos. They are simple, they're nice, they're sharp, they have great HDR and great colors. The ultra-wide camera also helps capture memories that fit best with that ultra-wide angle lens, such as going on road trips, hiking, camping, going to the beach. It's limitless what you can do with an ultra-wide angle lens. Before we continue, guys, a quick word from today's sponsor, Trend Micro. Stay safe no matter where you are or what you do, thanks to Trend Micro Mobile Security. Trend Micro works on Android, iOS, macOS, and Windows, keeping you safe from malicious apps, unsafe Wi-Fi networks, ransomware, and so many other things. The app is so incredibly easy to use. All you do is launch it, and you'll automatically see what issues are going on with your phone that you might not even know about. It also comes with a built-in web guard, so it will automatically scan the web pages you are going to and block the ones that are bad and harmful for your phone and your information. Have you guys ever noticed that your battery life on your phone is kind of draining fast? You might have a rogue app. You can easily run a security scan which does scan every single app you have, and it will catch the app that is making your phone not perform up to its standards. The best of all, you can use this with up to 10 devices, so every device in your home that you use can be protected. If 24/7 personal assistant sounds good to you, Trend Micro offers that. So anytime you have a question, you'll get help from the people that actually know the product. They know what they're talking about. For all you parents out there, yes, this does have parental controls, so you can ban unwanted apps and unwanted websites. To download Trend Micro, there will be a link in the description, so start protecting yourself today. And again, thank you to Trend Micro for sponsoring today's video. Photos are a static way of reliving memories. Sometimes you just want the memory as it happened, word for word, step by step. Well, having a good video recorder is certainly important nowadays, and I'm happy to say that this phone does do 4K 60, but if you do live in a hot climate, I hope you just understand that this phone will overheat if you do 4K 60 when it's hot outside. But that actually has gotten into some debate recently on Twitter. Do people really need 4K 60? No. People don't even need 4K to begin with. Most of us, when we look at our photos and videos, we're looking at those photos and videos through our phone. Unless you're the type of person that actually puts those photos and videos on a TV, that's the only really true benefit you'll see when it comes to 4K. So do people need 60 frames per second? Again, no. But if you show someone a side-by-side video, 4K 30, 4K 60, they're gonna pick 4K 60. They may not know why it looks better, but they for sure will notice that something just feels smooth. They might not know the technical aspect of what's going on, but it just does look pleasing to the eye. Imagine recording your kid's soccer game. Would you rather have it at 4K 30, where it looks a little bit choppy, or 4K 60, where that memory stays smooth, it stays good quality, everyone's happy? Now, the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of people are kind of defending Google in terms of saying no one needs 4K 60, so if the phone overheats in 4K 60, fine, oh well. Sure, but it also overheats in 4K 30. At least for me. So Google is working on a software fix for that. So they're thinking it might be the camera API, the actual camera app is being a little bit buggy. So I'll report a fix if a fix does come. So the phone does make good phone calls, and the phone also has a very, very good camera system, aside from the overheating. But it's a good camera system nonetheless. So what else should a phone have in today's time? You guys already know where I'm going with this. You guys know. Battery life. And oh man, dude, the battery life. As you guys just saw, I got a little too excited. My bad. I gotta keep this professional. The battery life on the Pixel 5a is so good. I don't even have to look at the battery percentage on this. Cat, why are you yelling? As I was saying, the battery percentage, the battery life on this phone is so good that I almost never look at the battery percentage. I just know it's going to last me the whole day. In fact, I don't even charge it at night most of the time because I just have a lot of battery to begin the second day with. And then during the second day, I maybe top out for like maybe 30 minutes, a quick 30-minute charge, and it's good for the entire second day as well. If you are a heavy user and you really use the phone, this phone is it. The battery life, fan-freaking-tastic. The battery life is great because it has a massive 4,680 milliamp hour battery, and of course it is paired with a 1080p display at 60 Hz. So why 60 Hz? Why not 90? Why not 120? Why not 144? When I attended the closed Q&A with the engineers from Google that worked on the Google Pixel themselves, they said a lot of people are still good with 60 Hz. Believe it or not, a lot of people are still fine with that, including me. This is my daily driver. I have no issues with it. And the proof is in the numbers. Take a look at the iPhone. Those things sell like things that I can't talk about on this YouTube channel without demonetizing, but they sell really good. 60 Hz, still. So the phone has great call quality, great cameras, and a fantastic battery. What else should a phone have? The screen. Now, the screen isn't anything special, no. As I mentioned, it is a 60 Hz panel, but it looks great. The colors are nice, they pop out at you. It is a pretty big 6.3 inch display, and it does get bright enough to use in basically any lighting condition. Out of the budget phones that I've tried, and I've tried a lot, the screen on the Pixel 5a 5G, it does look flagship. It may not be as bright as a true flagship phone, but in terms of color, in terms of, well, everything, it looks great. So what about 5G, right? Because this phone does not have millimeter wave 5G. It has sub-6 5G. Honestly, it's good enough. I literally cannot think of any scenario that I would need better speeds than that right there. I don't know why more than that is necessary. I don't know why millimeter wave is very important for some people. For me, this is good enough. This is almost double the speed of my Wi-Fi at home. I'm not gonna complain. Now, for those old souls out there, the headphone jack is still present. But for me personally, nah, I don't care. I've been using Bluetooth headphones for long time. But I know a lot of people do have those fancy, very expensive headphones with an actual aux cable or headphone jack. This phone does have a headphone jack, so you'll still be able to use those nice expensive headphones with this phone. So what about the speakers? What if you wanted to watch a very quick episode on Netflix or a very short YouTube video on your lunch break, and you just don't really have enough time to find your headphones, put them in, you just want to play it out through the speaker? They are insane. They are very good. The sound gets very clear. It gets loud. The bass is okay. Not the best, obviously. It's a phone speaker. I mean, come on. It's perfect. No questions, no complaints. So are you guys seeing a pattern yet? The Pixel 5a isn't for the tech nerds, the tech geeks, the spec sheet readers. It's for the normal person. And let me tell you guys something. The normal person won't really know the difference between this $450 Pixel and this $1,200 iPhone. They basically do 99% of the same things, and they do them both really well. But of course, no phone is perfect, and if you're thinking about picking this phone up, here are some things you should consider. Well, as I stated before, the phone does overheat during video recording at 4K 60, 4K 30, 1080p 60. it just overheats, okay? And that's it. That's really the only downside I can find on this phone. That's it. Just that one small but also major thing. Oh man, if only it just recorded video without overheating, this would be my favorite phone of 2021. I'm not kidding you guys. Now, yeah, Google did send this phone to me for free, but if you guys remember, or maybe you don't remember, maybe you didn't follow me that long ago, but Google also sent me the Pixel 5, the Pixel 4a, the Pixel 4, and the Pixel 3a. So I've owned a good amount of Pixels. I did not like the Pixel 4, and I said it on video, so I'm still giving you guys my honest thoughts, so I don't want you guys to think that just because Google sent it to me, that I have to talk good about it. No, there's been Pixels where I talked bad about. This one is not one of them. This is a great phone. I guess one small downside is that the phone doesn't really come with a true fast charger. It's 18 watts, which is okay, but the battery is big, so it'll take you an hour and a half, I would say, to fully charge the battery. And in today's day, that's kind of not good. But then again, man, this phone lasts me all day, so I don't really care about fast charging. I just thought I would let you guys know in case you guys do. So, okay, fine. This phone doesn't have Snapdragon 888. Sure, this phone doesn't have 16 gigs of RAM. Sure, this phone doesn't have 120 Hertz. Sure, this phone doesn't have wireless charging, it doesn't have reverse wireless charging, and it doesn't have as many cameras as other phones do. So what? The things it does do, it does very well. It picks what most people do and it improves on what most people do. There's no gimmicks about this phone. Nothing. There is zero gimmicks. I couldn't find a single gimmick. I couldn't find anything that Google added to the phone just to add as a selling point. Nothing about this phone is trying to persuade you to buy it other than it being just a good phone. And I really respect that. Thank you, Google, for not adding in some stupid AR doodle that no one is ever going to use aside from maybe one time. While there are so many other phones out there that are trying to be all these things at once and not really doing any of them good, the Pixel is the complete opposite. It doesn't have all these fancy features, but it does everything that it does do well. So I give this phone a solid 9.5 out of 10. Why not 10? Because it overheats doing simple video recording. Come on, Google. I love Google, man. I love Google, but it's like every phone they release, it just has to have a downside. It has to. It cannot be perfect. In fact, I think Google makes a perfect phone and then they say, no, that's too good. We need to put in something that's going to piss people off. Because if it wasn't for that one thing, Google, I would have given this phone a 10 out of 10. But hey, whatever. If you guys are watching this and you don't really care about video recording, for you, this phone will be a 10 out of 10. For me, video recording is kind of a big deal. I recently went on a nice trip to the mountains 2 weeks ago, and I brought my Pixel with me. It was good at taking photos, but I couldn't take a video. Literally, I could not take a single video on that trip while I was hiking through the woods. It was just too hot and the phone wouldn't let me record. But I did take a lot of photos, so I guess not everything is ruined. So guys, if you have any questions about this amazing phone, definitely drop me a comment down below. In my opinion, pick it up. In my opinion. If you have a lot of money and you just really want to ball out, maybe wait for the Pixel 6. Because man, I'm excited for that one. Alright guys, this was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.